Hello everyone, I am Pratima Adhikari from Gadget Byte Nepal, and today we have the Vivo V11 or the Vivo V11i as it's known internationally in for review. So this one's basically a toned down version of the Vivo V11 Pro, which if you remember had an in-display fingerprint scanner. So does the Vivo V11 fare on eye tests? Let's find out. First things first, let's get this one out of the box. This is a pretty normal packaging. So opening it up, you get the paperwork and the silicone case on the top. Below lies the V11 itself, and digging deeper, you get an earphone, a micro USB cable and the charging brick. Let's start off with the looks of this device first. As you can see, this is the bluish purplish color called Nebula by Vivo. We are seeing quite a lot of smartphones feature this color nowadays, so nothing out of the ordinary here. And if the fingerprint scanner wasn't there at the back, one could easily mistake it as the Pro version. At the back, you can't help but notice the minimalist design with only the dual cameras, an LED flash, a fingerprint sensor and the Vivo branding. The front houses nothing else than a notch that carries the selfie camera, which looks smaller than the one on the Oppo F9. Moving on, you have all the buttons on the right and the dual SIM slot and memory card slot on the left. Downwards, you have a single speaker grille, a micro USB port, a noise cancellation mic, and not to forget the headphone jack. On hands, this device is lightweight, which obviously is the result of its plastic construction. I think you will have a serious need to case this one up, as even in the minimum time I had with this device, it has developed a few scratches already, so you can imagine what can happen to it after a month. The Vivo V11 is a 6.3-inch giant with FHD Plus resolution and 19:9 aspect ratio. The small notch and those thin bezels certainly justify for the full view experience. Similarly, it's an IPS LCD panel, so you get a pretty bright and vibrant display in this device. The display is on par with what you get on other mid-range phones of 2018, which is sharp, good colors and excellent touch sensitivity. On the camera front, the higher-end Vivo V11 Pro had impressed us, no doubts on that, and this one too is set to emulate that success by the looks of it. The back of the V11 houses dual 16+5 megapixel cameras, and it wouldn't be wrong to say that the pictures from this one are full of colors with good amount of details. If you look at these samples, you will surely like what Vivo has given to us. The images are bright and punchy, and the colors are very close to natural. The Oppo F9 gives this one a good competition, whereas the Nova 3i falls shortly behind in color accuracy. However, in terms of details, the Nova 3i takes the lead by a slight margin. Similarly, exposure is better maintained in the V11. The HDR mode, on the other hand, could do with some improvements because there does not seem a lot of difference with it on and off. Now talking about the portrait mode, this device produces some of the best bokeh images among the others found in this price range. The edge detection is not that great, but it's impressive that the background does not seem too overexposed. Another thing I liked about the portraits is you can adjust the background blur before and after taking pictures. Like its Pro model, this one too has Google Lens feature. Talking about low light images, good lighting environment aids good pictures, and when the lights get dimmer, you will notice grains and noises here and there. There's a low light mode inbuilt in the cameras, but since the nighttime images are not that great, it's evident that the low light mode is not doing quite a proper job. Similarly, videos can be recorded in 1080p at 30 FPS with no stabilization, so shakiness in videos is something you will have to live with. With camera phones like this one, we can't really miss out on the selfie camera, can we? There's a 24 megapixel selfie camera on this one, and it's quite impressive. The selfie camera on this device makes me want to click more and more pictures. Jokes apart, you can judge these samples for yourself. They look quite nice, don't they? The different portrait lighting effects are also very fun to use. There's an AR sticker feature, which gives you more options than other phones in the similar price. Low-light selfies are surprisingly well lit and look nice. You can also record videos with beauty effects, which may be useful to some, but nothing of that much significance to me though. Similarly, there is different level of AI beautification, and you also get to choose up to 6 levels of beauty integration. All in all, the cameras on the Vivo V11 do a good job overall, but I will have to test it further to give you the final verdict. The performance section is where the twist lies, as this one has the Helio P60 chipset featured, which, if it sounds familiar, is there on the Oppo F9 as well. Look who's got a direct competition here. However, it's sad that it does not feature the Snapdragon 660 processor like its elder brother, but the Helio P60 chipset does not disappoint you either. Normal tasks are handled very well by the device, and switching between apps is clean. Likewise, gameplay is also a good experience where mid-tier games run smoothly, and PUBG is playable at medium settings with some lags here and there, but nothing that makes you worry. Also, gameplay does result in a little rise in temperatures, but not to the extent of frustration, which I think is normal for other devices as well. The storage is where the company is generous, as it gives you 4 GB of RAM and 128 GB of internal storage. This is certainly more than what Oppo is providing and is similar to what Huawei gives at a similar price. There's an option for expansion via a dedicated microSD card, but I don't think it's necessary. Adding to the performance side, you get a snappy fingerprint sensor and facial recognition on this device. It's commendable how the device reads your face even in low-lit environments. But the speakers at the bottom are just decent at best. On the software front, you get the latest Android Audio 8.1 with FunTouch OS 4.2 on this phone. I say this every time, and I'm saying it once again, that the UI on this device seems like a pure inspiration from iPhones, and it is very confusing for someone who's new to it. No search bar in the settings menu makes it very inconvenient for users, and the upward swiping taskbar again is another form of inspiration I don't like. But there are gesture features that may come handy, like drawing on the screen to open apps, customizing navigation buttons, etc. However, you can change the theme of the system if and when wanted. Well, there's also a fair share of bloatware that cannot be deleted, so there's that. The Vivo V11 has a 3315 mAh battery with fast charging support. The battery capacity is actually a little less than the Pro model. Even though the battery lasted for a day on my use, and since it also has fast charging, I had no complaints with it whatsoever. Well, the Vivo V11 seems like a capable and promising device, but it has to face a lot of competition from other mid-range smartphones like the Nova 3i, Oppo F9 and the Xiaomi Mi A2. So how does this device fare against competition? I will let you know in the full review, so make sure you're subscribed to our channel.